back again at MI Sports Talk, week 14. Just made it through rivalry week. Discussing a little bit about the Michigan State rivalry game there. It happened this past Saturday. A lot of things surprising about that game, that's for sure. A lot of things surprising about that game. I don't think my prediction came out even close to that.
No, I think we both envisioned maybe a little bit tighter game than what it was. I think I had maybe a little bit bigger margin than you, but I think I'd said that it would be maybe a couple of late scores that would would pull away. But yeah, really, aside from the first quarter, when Michigan State came down and scored, and I don't think, I got kind of some video queued up here, but Michigan got the ball back, I think, with just maybe a couple minutes to go in the first quarter, and that's really where they started to put things together.
Yeah. I think the TV guys are talking about score to make it 7-7, and then I think the block punt kind of that really rejuvenated and livened up the team. And I think I had it on the radio too a little bit. I was listening on the radio, and I was like, even the radio guys for Michigan that said they could feel the energy on the sideline, difference maker as far as that went, as far as the whole bit. Seemed like they came out a little flat early on. State obviously went down, scored. Went down, took it down, put it down in the end zone on Michigan there, and then they answered the call. They answered the call and came back and made things from there on. I mean, you look at what 44-3, I think, was the remainder of the game.
Right.
They really imposed their will, as they say sometimes. I think Harbaugh uses that. We imposed our will, or it's a combination. Obviously, we know things in East Lansing this year have been kind of struggling a little bit, to say the least. They've been having a hard time up there. Not their typical season that they've had, and they turned around and came into Ann Arbor and a Michigan team that's, people are saying, are on a roll and playing well, executing well. Things are starting to shape up. The passing game, the defense, leading into the final few weeks of the season. You were there. You felt the atmosphere in the stadium. What'd you think? I mean, you.
To me, it was an atmosphere that was reminiscent of kind of the old days, where, kind of what a rivalry should be, because you didn't see a lot of Michigan State fans in the crowd. I mean, there were a few here or there, but not the big, sale of tickets like, drives me crazy.
Right. Yeah.
Sometimes have all the opposing fans in your stadium.
The Rich Rod and the Hope, where we had half the place was filled with green.
But it was definitely a good atmosphere. It was a noon game. It felt like days of old, if you will. And like you were saying, I think Michigan kind of came out and got off a little bit slow start coming off the bye. But when you look at what they did, obviously the history of this game has been a team that runs the ball better wins the game. Well, they kind of came out and figured, well, Michigan State's still got a pretty good stout defense against the run. But obviously their secondary is a little bit in question, and they were able to get out once they got it rolling. They were able to get out and really take advantage of pretty much anything in space, getting those guys out there. And they mixed in a few runs here and there, but for the most part, with Patterson, 360, almost 370 yards, and did things that Michigan quarterbacks have never done against Michigan State. Right? I think he beat Brady's record by almost 100 yards. Passing, and pretty much had his way once they got it rolling. So that was, to me, that was exciting. That was good to see, because, he didn't sit there and just.
You look at that video. Look at the video in the end zone. All the people standing along the wall.
Yeah. Well, they had. I can't remember the number. I think it was. They said 300, and it was a big number. They had like 300 ex-Michigan football players that were there, came out and held up the banner
Oh,
for the team to run under. So that was kind of cool. So
that's awesome. Yeah. Yeah, that's a big thing. That's a big thing to have that support, and all that kind of stuff. Obviously, the team responded to that, obviously, and livened up. Like you said, coming off the bye, you never know. You get to 17-7 here, and things are looking okay. Still in the third quarter, and then we get a few.
Well, they came out. Lewerke throws the pick on the the first possession coming out of the second half after they get the ball.
I don't know if he's got arm issues or what. His ball just didn't fly. They were talking about it on the TV, how the ball came out, and we're like, just fluttering. Didn't have that zip on it. Didn't have that tight spiral. His passes fell short a lot. He had guys open.
Yeah.
A lot of times too, during the game.
Yeah. I just, we were talking about it, just sitting there watching the game, and he looked at since the Notre Dame game, it just seems like, I don't know, there's more passion. There's more excitement on the sidelines. There's guys, just getting after it a little bit more. And you sit here and you go, man, where was that? Where was that against Wisconsin? Where was that in some of those games early on where they struggled? But it seems like to me they're just a lot more passionate. They got a lot more fire. I mean, obviously, you're going to get up for this game, this game, obviously, but you hope that, they can continue that, because I think they play better when they're feeling it like that. And,
the biggest backlash they had after Wisconsin was how flat they were, how unmotivated they were, how, team, in that Wisconsin game, that's all that the media and that's all people talked about. After that game, even watching that game was the same way. It was like, it was like, man, it don't seem like we got that fire. And that game, we pretty much, Rutgers, I think, was after that, right? We played Rutgers but after that game, and then a lot of fire in that game, and then Penn State, obviously, the game we pretty much dominated for 3 quarters, just came up short. You look at those 2 games right there. I mean, obviously Wisconsin had a vendetta for us. We'd beaten them the year prior so well. And this Michigan team seems to be playing well. This team, gelling at the right time, and we talked about that. Like even in the bowl years when the team kind of gradually just made themselves, better as the season went on. Each practice, and we're not peaking too early, and then all of a sudden we're dead at the end. I think. They're playing it out pretty
good. And that's been the the last couple of years, right? You get off to those good starts, and then you just end up on a sour note. The last couple of years, right?
Yeah.
I mean, losing to Ohio State, losing the bowl game, losing games at the end of the season, where it seems a little different, right? Where they're on an uphill swing here this year, as opposed to last year, where they kind of, maybe not in the last couple of years, really, where you end the season on there's a block punt you were talking about. That was
that guy just all of a sudden just whiffed on him. I don't think he gave him enough push or what. I don't know if he thought that the guy was rolling out more or what, but right on the ball.
He said, now I don't know how many he has, but I saw a stat that Hudson's now the leading punt blocker. I don't know.
Awesome. He played a
career punt block. I don't know.
Anyway, usually in the past, you put the ball in the running and play. You don't. Here they attacked right away after that. They went one play pass. I was like, whoa! Even sitting there watching, I was like, wow, look at that.
That's kind of what I was saying earlier. It felt a little different. In terms of, they just said, look, we're gonna keep the pedal on, and we're just gonna throw the ball against these guys, because they can't stop us, right? You just keep. There was one drive, I can't remember when it was. I think it might have been in the second quarter or something, that just this kind of thing that drives you crazy. I think it was late in the second quarter, where they got the ball and were kind of coming down, and they kind of put in that double pass, and kind of got away from doing the things that had made them successful. And those kinds of series still drive me crazy.
I was saying the same thing
a couple times a game, and you go, just keep doing what you're doing, because we're not able to stop you.
Right. Why we got to throw the double pass back?
Why you got to get cute? Just keep pounding it.
I agree with you on that, no doubt about it. I was like, come on, let's just go back to hand the ball off. Let's start running it. What are we doing? Overthinking ourselves sometimes, or whatever, which can happen. But Yeah, here we got the turnover right back again. Serious momentum going now. Michigan State's on their heels. It's like a boxer just waiting for the bell to ring here to give them a break. Michigan kept on it. We just kept answering, the flurry of punches here. Here he just steps out of bounds, just misses completing that touchdown there. Just stepped out of bounds slightly there. But yeah, once the momentum gets going, just like in previous years, whether State was doing it to us or we were doing it to them, and then recover, 37-10 here. We get out of the way at the end here. I think coming up, he throws this one.
Yeah.
A broken coverage play there. The guy comes up to play the run and throws it right over the top. I'm like, oh man, there you go. But I didn't get a chance to see the post game anything, as far as the midfield or whatever. But yeah,
it was funny. I was watching, after the game, and Metellus. There, a few of the guys, as they were going off the field, they were kind of jawing a little bit, and I had my binoculars, and I was watching Metellus, and he's kind of like, he's motioning, he's pretty animated, and I realized I'd heard what he said after the game. I was trying to wave him off the field. They told him it was time to go home because they didn't belong on this field.
Right. Yeah, like I say, now you can't take for granted.
Right.
Came out already and talked about this week where he's for sure coming back. D'Antonio's not leaving and all those kind of things. So, which is good for their program. Obviously, they want stability. You want to keep him in there, in there as long as he can. He has the right. We talked about last week. He has the right to say when he's done, I think.
Right. No, nothing changes, right? That's still the case.
Yeah.
As far as that goes, he deserves. He's earned it. It's kind of funny, how things go, right? It's the pendulum swings back and forth.
Yeah.
I don't know if has there been a time when both Michigan and Michigan State have been, at the top.
Relevant. Yeah.
Like it's up and down, right? One or the other. It's just.
Yeah. Oh, exactly.
And it's kind of funny how the fan bases go crazy one way or the other, right? You just one week, 1 year he's the god and he can do no wrong. Next year, now, God, he's got to go, and it's just I don't know. It's just
yeah.
That's what makes
a lot of things learned from them this year that normally they use up, and there's things out there. I mean, a lot of people you comment. My buddies commented, "Hey, go blue," to Spartan fans, and they're like, "Oh, it's basketball season. It's basketball season."
Yeah.
What? Basketball season? It's not basketball season. Basketball season has started, but it's still football season, and totally different if it was the other way around, But,
right. Yeah, that's the way it goes, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But you get to, you got bragging rights now again for a little bit. And,
another year, 365.
Another year, kind of makes you feel good to wear the maize and blue again, and like you're wearing, sporting.
This I had this on today, and I thought, oh, we're doing the show tonight. I said, I guess I can leave it on. I didn't change out of it. I had it on today.
Pull over.
Didn't even dawn on me till about halfway through the day. I'm like, I'll leave it on for the show. So I do the double. I got the double whammy going. I got the polo and the Michigan. But they said during the game that Shea Patterson hit like 9 different receivers for the game. So.
Yeah, it was great to see Bell. Bell had a I think he had 7 catches for over 100 yards in the first half again. He's just become such a so glad, that, after what happened in that Penn State game.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Potential, but he's been solid all year, and what a threat he's become. Just a good possession receiver, runs great routes. When they need a big play, when they need a big catch, you can go to him and kind of count on. And then you got all those guys, Peoples Jones and Black and Collins, and it's a good core of receivers. And
tight ends, both tight ends caught passes.
Both tight ends got involved in the game.
Running backs caught some out of the backfield.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
15, I forget his name, Securelli or something.
Yeah, you wonder why. The offense here has looked so good in the last, since Penn State, since that really the second half. Why did it take so long? We kind of talked about that a little bit. You sit here and you go, what happened? What happened?
New offense, and just took a little time. And obviously they didn't run the ball like they did against, so and so when both guys had over 100.
But they didn't need to, right? Like I said, you got to stop. They took what State was going to give them. and
Back
kept
to
going. So
they must have saw something on film that
oh yeah, for sure.
that passing game all day, because you throw sprinkling a little running game in there now. Now they got to go to Indiana. Obviously, Michigan goes to Indiana this week here, and Indiana's hot. 7-2, I think, or 7-3. I think they played a tough one, lost a tough one at Penn State last week, and had a chance to tie it up at the end there and lost it. So Michigan can't overlook the Hoosiers as they have and it's not an easy game going down there. The Hoosiers coach has got them all fired up and playing well. Allen down there at Indiana, playing really well down there. They're in the hunt. They're looking for respectability, and Michigan's coming in, and hopefully Michigan, is able to get that one and not look ahead to Ohio State. Obviously, the last game of the season. Michigan's the host. I think State's hosting.
State's got actually, I think aren't they going to Rutgers?
They go to Rutgers and then host Maryland at the end.
Yeah, I think that's the way it goes. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, hopefully they can get better against Rutgers, and they need 2 wins still. I think they're looking for 2 wins here. They got to win out to become bowl eligible at 6 wins. I think the Spartans. So hopefully they'll be able to earn a bowl berth.
Be a short trip down to the Quick Lane Bowl. But.
Yeah, it'd be interesting where they might end up. I haven't heard anything. I haven't looked. I used to always look, and I thought, man, I'm not going to bother. I usually wait till the end of the year, and I look back and see how they change each week.
Oh, the projections. Yeah, I was kind of looking at it a little bit earlier. They were showing. I don't know. Latest one I saw, I think today was. I think they still had Sparty in the Quick Lane Bowl, but they had Michigan against Tennessee in the. Down in Jacksonville, I think they were saying, but I don't know. Tennessee right now, I think he's got to win a couple. Got some winnable games coming up, so maybe they're looking to finish the season a little bit stronger.
Yeah,
they like that Big Ten SEC matchup.
It's always that Big Ten SEC.
It's always it's a pretty good one. So they always try to line up that so as much as they can.
Nobody else wants SEC except for the Big Ten. Tough weekend on your side there with Alabama going down. They're losing Tua for the season. See all that. I was meaning to ask you about that a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the speculation was, why was he in there? Should he have been in there? Blah blah blah.
Come on.
All that. That's what all the media and everybody's talking about. But like you said, you coach to coach. 2-minute warning. It's 2 minutes to go in the court half. You got to keep to work on that 2-minute game. It's just a freak play that. How many times has he rolled out like that and thrown the ball and nothing's happened to him?
That's just crazy. People that are criticizing you have your starting quarterback in the game. I mean, come on. You look at he was injured before the LSU game. They were on the bye. He had an ankle problem. He was rusty coming into the LSU game because he didn't get a lot of reps. Right? He didn't play. He didn't practice a lot because they were trying to get him healthy. So to say why was he in there? He's in there because he's trying to get back to playing, right? He's trying to get trying to get things back to where he was, and you got to play, right? You got to play. So it's kind of I don't put anything into he's there because he's a football player. First of all, I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's not like it was 2 minutes to go in the fourth quarter, right? It was so
he had a lot of game left. It's
unfortunate for sure,
For the most part, you figure you run them down there, you do the 2-minute warning, see if they can get down in the field goal range. So you can't simulate that sometimes in practice. So here it is, for them to work that, get them down, get a field goal, maybe a touchdown, and then you get them out of there. Start second half with a backup in there.
Well, how many times, right? You might get them one drive in the second half, and then you're done. Right? I mean, that's just typical, right? So he didn't do anything certainly out of the ordinary than any other coach has done, right?
No.
It's all just fodder, right? It's all media fodder. So you try to get things.
Stir the kettle.
Yeah, stir it up.
And then they come out and they have the BCS, and nothing's changed. It didn't really matter. BCS standings as far as LSU, Ohio State, Clemson, and Georgia all up there in the top 4, and then Alabama and Oregon in the 5-6 slot. So. It's all going to play itself out. LSU and Georgia will play here in the SEC title game, and Clemson's got to finish up their role, and Ohio State's got to play, potentially, and they got to play Penn State, Michigan, and they got to play probably Minnesota out there in the West.
We'll see.
Champ, and we have Minnesota's new and energized, and maybe Wisconsin can go into Minnesota and win. And it'll be Wisconsin again, but
they got to come through Ann Arbor too, right? Never know.
Yeah, I mean, they still got to play Michigan and Ann Arbor, and that's everybody writes the tickets, and seals the tickets up beforehand. And Penn State, they need to go down there and maybe play a good one down there at Ohio State and catch them looking ahead at Michigan or something like that. You never know, but yeah, lots still play out. I saw a prediction for the bowl games, the New Year's 6 or whatever. Sure enough, they put the one in there with Oklahoma against Alabama.
Yeah, I think that.
Saw that one. Hurst against old coach Alabama. People storylines. That's kind of what this bowl games turn out to be sometimes. Or storylines, coaches against old teams, old players. Right? Some of those kind of things.
I mean, that's good, right? Because a lot of those games have lost a little luster, right? Even the with the playoff, a lot of those other games have lost luster, which I think is ridiculous, right? So they try to do things that hopefully keep people interested. And the thing you hate to see is those games where there's empty seats and
right.
I just drives you crazy.
They don't move the cameras away from the view because there's nobody.
Don't go up high because there's nobody sitting up there.
Inside of the 20 rows up, there's nobody up there, and that's a shame. That's some bowl games.
It is a shame.
A lot of them are corporate too. The corporate sponsors, and people get the corporate, use the tickets, and they should, respect the kids and all that kind of stuff. Or almost to the point now where you play them, one in the morning, one like they do, play one at 12 and play one at the same site. People get 2 for 1. Something. So you get a game at 12, you get a game at 7. That's the difference,
I mean, a bowl game for a program is still a reward, right? And it still gets you how many more weeks of practice, right? I mean, that's probably the big thing, right? You
days or whatever
you get a look at some kids maybe that you hadn't get a chance to look at. And those are good things, right? And,
you think it's kind of like when they do the Final Four of basketball. You put all 4 teams in one venue, your crowd becomes huge. If you did 2 separate Final Fours and 2 different venues, if you had 2 semifinal games in 2 different areas, so why not put a bowl game and say, okay, we're going to put, the 12 o'clock game or a 3:30 game and a 7 o'clock game, and you warm them up in between, and you get your crowd will stick around after and watch it. Now you get double. You don't end up playing. The kids don't end up playing in front of a half-filled stadium.
Right.
They play a full stadium, and the kids stay and watch. And almost get to that point with some of those other bowl games, but you lose. Maybe they can combo up. It's the Tostitos, whatever. Jimmy John's.
Well, you got to match. Maybe a sandwich with a a condiment or a sandwich with chips or
Subway.
Right.
Coca-Cola bowl game or something, but
you could have the Jack Daniel's Coca-Cola bowl.
That's right.
Those 2 bowls.
Yeah.
They kind of go hand in hand. Or,
hand in hand, bourbon, Coca-Cola or something. Cheetos.
You can't have like the vegan bowl. You can't have like the vegan bowl and then the the top sirloin bowl because that just wouldn't fly. Those crowds they might not mesh very well. So.
The vegan house bowl. You're talking about that one?
You got to be careful with those corporate sponsorships.
Yeah, you can't crisscross them. You got to make sure you parlay them all up the same way. But that might be a solution that instead of having the poor kids play within, here they are used to playing in front of 50, 60,000, some of them. They get a bowl game and there's 30 if there's that. The venues.
That's a good point.
Put somebody up in the cold. Why not put them down in a warm climate? That they can enjoy it. People will want to travel to it probably. Who wants to go to New York or Boise, Idaho, in January. People want to go down to Tampa. They want to go down to somewhere warm, Texas, Arizona, whatever.
It's not a bad idea because like you said, a lot of bowl games down in Florida. I think around Orlando they play them at the same stadium, but a different day. Why not?
Later, or whatever. It's a week later. Like they'll play in Atlanta, and then they turn around and play the championship game in Atlanta. It's like, why not just do semis the same spot? But obviously, and then you just rotate them every year or something. Maybe I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody still gets their money. It's a bottom line. Everybody still gets their money. Are you going to get it more by sitting it by yourself or comboing it up? Maybe, but that's somebody else's decision to make, not you and I. Yeah, I mean,
the Lions.
You got the Lions, baby. Another tough one. That quarterback, he was okay.
He wasn't bad. Yeah.
He in there, he battled hard. He stuck his head in there. He runs with the ball. I mean, you got to give him credit. The kid's out there playing hard. He's trying to earn some respectability. Like you think about it. I mean, that kid's playing for his career. He's trying to. Somebody's going to see some film on him and say, hey, why not? Pick him up. He did a pretty good job. Jerry Jones, especially.
He did.
Performance like that in front of Jerry Jones, and the Lions happened to, if you make a trade, you say, hey, we'll give you up this guy. He did a pretty good job.
See my man Bo Scarborough getting his first touchdown there. That was kind of fun.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Look at that. Scarborough, baby.
It's funny. We weren't home. We were out. We were out running around a little bit, and I was with Sam and Ben. And Ben's like, I think Bo Scarborough just scored for the Lions. He's like, when did they pick him up? I said, I don't know.
I think he's new, isn't he?
Yeah.
Oh my! See that block? Roll that back again.
What was that?
Roll that back. Roll that back real quick if you can. Can you go back to our tackle? Watch the left tackle.
There.
Oh yeah, see that? See that?
Yeah.
He was outside the receiver, and he came all in. Totally caught her. I forget our left tackle. The ex-Ohio State guy there. Just caught him off guard. But the Lions here, they're up 7-0. They're giving the Cowboys a little scare here.
Well, again, they gave up 21 points in that second quarter and just kind of got down and never were able to recover from that. Even though they had a shot, they had a shot at the end.
Oh yeah,
couple shots, right? I think towards the we
were riding down. The biggest thing that through this game, obviously there's some plays and stuff like that, but I don't know why we went for 2. Down 14, we scored. Should have kicked the extra point to make it 7, and it baffled even Dan Miller and the radio guys, and it baffled some of the guys I talked to, saying, "Why did we go for 2?"
Right.
But then you could have went for 2 if you really want to go for the win. Go for the win, with the. If we score that last touchdown, but we didn't get it. So now we're down 8. So you're still in the same boat. I guess you still got to get that. Well, if you're going for the win or you go for the tie, you got to get a 2-point conversion to get a tie. So I don't know what that did or what the thinking behind it was, or like the radio guy said, is the kicker hurt?
Yeah, I don't know.
I didn't hear anything about that. If the kicker
I hadn't seen anything or heard it.
Was dinged up or anything like that, but Dak Prescott, another a good ball game for him, and our defense, which is ranked 31st in the NFL,
showed why again.
yeah, around from behind, and
Driscoll, he moves around.
Decker, the left tackle's Decker, and he had a hard time.
Keeps things going.
Yeah, they're just a little behind Hawkinson there. But
I don't know, man. So what are Lions sitting at right now? They're 3-6-1.
6-1, I think, and they're pretty much in playing out the string in that. They're not officially out of the playoffs, but.
So they get who they got? Redskins this weekend.
Yeah, they travel to Washington and play.
I thought that was a home game.
No, I think they're going to Washington.
Oh, they're going to Washington.
Yeah, I think they're going to Washington. We got. I'm pretty sure it's at Washington, and they come home and play the Bears for Thanksgiving. Yeah, but Driscoll scoring. Yeah, excited.
Yeah, FedEx Field.
10.
FedEx Field, Pat. You can get tickets as low as $6 on StubHub or on Vivid Seats.
Baby, no way.
Not a lot of, probably not a lot of interest in the.
No Hogs.
One Lions against the 1-9 Redskins.
The Hogs.
Not necessarily a marquee matchup.
No, I don't think that's going to be the prime time game. They're not going to switch that one to Sunday night, I don't think. But obviously the NFL, obviously they're playing it out here. Some of the teams, are moving along and seems to be the same teams. You just don't know. But
I did watch. I watched that Patriots Eagles game. That was pretty entertaining.
Yeah, I watched that one too. Patriots Eagles was good.
Yeah,
they just 21-10 here, and it pretty much.
Well, this is again, where they kind of they get down 10 going into halftime, right? And
mm-hmm.
Then they come out and score, right? And they come out. I think they come out and cut it to 24-21. And it's just kind of they couldn't get a stop.
You couldn't get the stop. If you can't get them off on third down, you can't.
Yeah, they couldn't get off the field.
They're going to have issues in the NFL, that's for sure. And you watch all the other teams; they seem to get that stop. That was a good hit there, but they called that flag hung on to that pass there. Yeah,
again, it becomes a situation where the offense still putting up between 25, 30 points.
Yeah.
You should be able to win those games, right? You got to be able to get it. You got to be able to stop somebody. That's just been the problem all year.
Injuries or what? You know what?
Oh, yeah. Commercial in here now.
Oh, we got commercials going. That baby.
But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we can probably go to the end here and take a look at that last drive and see what.
Yeah, see if we can get down to that.
See if we get down to that last drive and look at that.
I think this is where they score. This is where they score. Yeah, this is where they score to make it.
Yeah,
5 minutes ago, 6 minutes ago. This is where they make it 35-27.
Yeah.
I don't know if they'll share us are going for 2. Not sure what that was.
Sure, a 2-point conversion play there. But, yeah.
And I think they do get a stop here, right? They kind of don't they get off the field somewhere at this point?
Either Dallas implodes or something, and they go backwards and have to punt.
Yeah.
It's 3rd and 9.
Yeah, I think they
sack or we get.
Yeah, so they do get off the ball. They
got to punt it back to us, and we
get the long field, right?
3 minutes to go here. We got a chance to make a drive. Driscoll
made a catch there.
Yep. Great catch by Galladay.
Yeah. So here you're thinking, well, maybe they got a shot, right? Here they are again. Yeah. But then it got 2nd and long. I think they had a penalty.
Start to implode here. Start to go backwards, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And we had to punt it, right?
Right. Yeah. So they kind of get it down to the 2-minute warning when they punted. 3rd and 26, or even
everybody makes a 3rd and 26 play.
Yeah, not a whole lot of plays to call in 3rd and 26.
Yeah. But yeah, this is pretty much. I don't think we get the ball back. Do you?
They do get the ball back.
We did the ball back. Yeah. So the Lions go to Washington. I don't think they've won in Washington in a long time. So if they could go up there and get that win, they much need to win. Go 4-6, come back, maybe get a.
That's one they got to get. Right? They don't get this.
The Bears are not Bears of last year, that's for sure. So there's for Thanksgiving Day that they could get the Bears.
So you're back to 500 at that point.
I think to be 5-6 or 5-6-1.
5-6-1. Yeah.
And then I forget what their schedule is after that. I'd have to look, but yeah, I mean, obviously they're in that situation, that situation. If they can just get things going here against Washington.
A lot of talk though.
They've been banged up a little bit. I don't know if we're going to get anybody back, but we've been banged up a little bit. The defense at the beginning of the season was bad, but.
Well, this is where the point in the season where you're not watching the news and you're getting all the talk about Patricia's got to go, Quinn's got to go, and this is where it all starts, right? So I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, there's some bright spots there, but I don't think it's coach removal worthy.
Well,
do you think it's Patricia's fault?
So
Now
what?
it comes down to who do you go with? Who do you go get now? I mean, it's
So what coach has been successful here, right? I mean, that's the problem, right? You give guys, 3 or 4 years, and you just kind of move on to the next guy, and then you rebuild, and
yeah,
that's been the story of the Lions, right? And then none of these guys ever go on to be a head coach again. It's a graveyard of head coaches, right?
yeah. I mean, Mariucci retired. I mean, what's his toes? The defensive coordinator for the Cowboys there.
Yeah, you get some coordinators, but they don't, they aren't head coaches anymore.
Schwartz is the defensive coordinator at the Eagles. You got what's his toes? Defensive coordinator at the Cowboys. Just guys.
I don't. To me, it's not. I mean, I like Patricia. I like, obviously he's got the pedigree coming from the Patriots organization. So does Quinn. So you like to hope that you give these guys a little bit of time, that they'll be able to do, because there has been some bright spots. I mean, there's been but it's just,
up so much. You can only patch up so much. You can only make expectations for every year and stuff. I mean, obviously, there's a big thing going now that I don't know if you saw or heard about it, that the Lion Nation is trying to boycott the Thanksgiving game. So there's a
really
thing online. Or I saw right after the Cowboy game, they said enough's enough. Boycott.
After 40 years, enough's enough.
Make a statement. We're done. We're done with it, and we're gonna make a statement, and we're not going to the Thanksgiving game, and we're voice your opinion by emptying the seat. Stay home, celebrate with your family, enjoy your Thanksgiving at home. Don't go to the Lions Thanksgiving, and let Mrs. Ford see it from her own eyes. Empty seats.
That's it. After
and I've always said it all along. I mean, these guys keep going every week, and other stadiums, their teams aren't doing well. They don't go. They stay home. They don't go and support the team, and you may watch it on TV, but they don't go and fill the stands and reward the owners for making situations where they you're just going to win again or lose it, but the fans still come.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I have not been to a regular season Lions game in years.
Yeah.
Not that I wouldn't mind going. It's just Sundays are just kind of tough days, especially football during the fall with coaching and whatnot. So it's just tough to get there. But I mean, guy actually offered me to go down at the last minute last week, and had it been different, I might have thought about going down, because I wouldn't mind going down there and watching Lions.
Yeah, I mean, like I say, it's a nice venue. The Ford Field is a beautiful facility inside there, and obviously the parking. You can get a shuttle. You can go to local place and hang out, and then shuttle over to the game.
And at the end of the day, with a team like the Lions, which historically they are what they are. At the end of the day, you just go down there and you tailgate and have a good time, and the expectations are low, and you just
Yeah. I mean, over the years, you think about they had Billy Sims, they had Moore, they had some guys that could play, some marquee guys you maybe go watch. Like I used to say to friends, I said, "Why did you go? Why you get season?" "Oh, I go watch Barry, man. Gotta go watch Barry." Yeah, I mean, it's good to go watch Barry, and he's home, and you never know what you're gonna see. But I don't know. I mean, it's just like the bottom line. You want to win. You want to see a winner. You want to see a consistent winner. And whether or not it's going to happen in our time, I don't know. Starting to run out of time, run out of years here. I used to think in the 30s that I'd be like, oh man, about 40s. Those Patriots are winning. The Patriots used to be terrible. Whatever. They were terrible. Buccaneers, they lost how many in a row, and they made it to the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
They were
one of these years.
Team, and then they make it to the Super Bowl. So it's like, gotta be
one of these years, Pat. Gotta be one of these years.
I don't think it's this year, though. I can honestly say I don't think this year is going to be the year.
Well, none of us were calling for it this year.
No. Mm-hmm. We had high hopes. We had chances. There was hope that maybe
there was some cautious optimism.
Optimism. There it is. That's the good word for it right there. Kind of like there's cautious optimism for the Pistons, and kind of like there's cautious optimism for the Bruins.
Right. You like to think that maybe, Yeah.
I just looked online. I saw the Pistons. I'm looking from the standings, and they're top. It's almost to start at the bottom and go up.
Yep.
They're last or near the last bottom of the barrel.
It's not a good time in in the city of Detroit.
I was talking to another guy the other day. All the Detroit teams are last place. Why do I want to? The Tigers finished in last. The Red Wings are in last place. The Pistons are in last place, and now the Lions are in last place. So, how often does that happen here in Detroit? But we can like the top 5 Tiger losing seasons. Yeah, we witnessed 3 of them.
Yeah.
Season, So the Red Wings, obviously, I watched the Red Wings a little bit the other night, and they have some good young talent.
Yeah, I did too. I watched a little bit here recently. You're right. They do.
Put them on there, and they're battling. I haven't watched. I can't say I've watched a lot of the Pistons yet to really have a good on the Pistons, but they just lost a guy out for a little while. He's going to be out, and they just got Blake
Griffin. Yeah, Griffin just came back right out. He hasn't played a whole lot of games yet.
Right. So you're playing without your big gun, and so that's disheartening. That's disheartening to say the least. And then you got just it's tough. It's tough. And you look down there at the state, the same thing. At least at Pistons and Red Wings, people don't show.
Yeah.
Pistons looks half full, but there's a lot of things to do at that Sears Arena. Obviously, people do outside the arena, for you to sit around or whatever. So I think there's still enough activity there, but.
There is, but it's just the cost, right? It's just cost a fortune to get down there. Parking's high. I remember people complaining about, you go get a beer and it's like $20 for a beer. It's like.
Oh yeah, they suck it to you when you go to those games, and you can sit at home and watch it on TV or whatever.
Well, and it's different than football, right? Football, you get 8 home games, right?
Right.
So you are still going to get your diehards that are going to go and get down there and get that experience because there's only 8 of them. But you talk baseball where you got 80 some home, how many 80 home games, and basketball you probably got 30, 40, and hockey similar number. It's just you go
Yeah. That's the thing. It's we're not quite at the. I usually get till after Thanksgiving in December when I start to really follow the Pistons a little bit more, or even the Red Wings.
Right.
The college season ends up for football, and they're waiting for the bowl games. So I'll a little bit more of those.
And what happens, around here with both Michigan State, and the success that they've had in basketball, and Michigan, the last few years, the success that they've had, people tend to. Get out and go to those games as opposed to going down and watching the pro games. We've done it.
Cost-wise, it's a lot better too.
A lot better value. It's a lot better. You're seeing a better product. Both those teams have done well and done some good things over the last decade or so, and been competitive. Been to Final Fours. Been to big tourney champs, and So that's got to play into it. And I looking at myself, if I'm got a choice of watching a college hoop game versus a Red Wing or a Pistons game, that's probably why I'm watching a college hoop game, right?
Yeah, that's what you get into, like big Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday. Mm-hmm. You get into league battles between the ACC and the Big Ten games, and you can turn on and watch Big Ten Network or SEC Network. A lot of different competition for people.
A lot of other options.
And
and at this point, better options. Right?
Yeah, like we talked about Michigan State basketball, both are on high notes right now, and they're playing well. Michigan State's ranked in the top 5, and Michigan's looking for respectability. They're playing.
There's excitement with Juwan Howard there, and
Juwan Howard, and they got some young talent still. They got some guys, some holdovers from their teams with the previous year, so they're exciting to watch, and that's going to kick on here right in Thanksgiving. They do all the Maui tournament and all those kind of things, that get going. So, but
I think it's going to be tough. I think it's going to continue to be a tough sell to say you're going to want to go down to Little Caesars and watch the Pistons and the Red Wings. I think it's just going to be tough until they start winning, or being more competitive. I think it's just going to be going to be rough.
Yeah. And it's a good thing. But we're boiling down. We've talked a little bit in the past few weeks about the high school sports playoffs and all that.
The semifinals this weekend.
How's your Monroe CC still in it down there?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I think we're gonna head down to Ypsilanti, Lincoln, and watch that game. So.
They just played. They beat Milan, didn't they? Did they beat Milan?
They beat Montrose.
Montrose. That's right. They beat Montrose. Yeah.
Yeah, Montrose. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Milan lost to Country Day.
That's right. That's what it was.
Yeah. Milan's in the Huron League with SMCC. That was SMCC's only loss was to Milan this year.
It's Country Day. So Country Day, I think, did they play Powers?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Powers won. Yeah, and there's some good ones. I mean, the Class A looks really exciting because there's really some new teams there. There's Brighton, Belleville, Sterling Heights, Stevenson, and then somebody else. I forgot the other.
Yeah, so some good matchups this week. I think there were some good matchups last week, especially
Davidson's in there. Davidson and Sterling Heights, Stevenson play, and then Belleville and Brighton. So there's some new teams in the Class A. Division II, I think Martin Luther King's back again playing there, and
yeah, I think I can't remember. I can't remember how many. This is there won't be any Catholic League teams in. They're all done.
De La Salle's out. CC didn't make. So yeah, all the people will be happy about that. That's for sure. But that'll be exciting. I'm planning on going down there that Friday. Watch those games. That'll be good. Division 8, Division 2, Division 6, and Division 4 all play on Friday after Thanksgiving, and then Saturday you got Division 7, Division 1, Division 5 and 3. So the odds are Saturday and the evens are Friday. But yeah, it'll be exciting for some of these high school teams. Obviously, the weather looks like it's clearing up. Things are melting out there, so the weather. I don't know how much it played a part. I think I saw one game 12-9 last week, and some other games are big scores, But yeah, I think I'm excited to see who makes it down to the finals there, and a lot of young kids will be celebrating their state title.
Yeah,
sure. But I put a lot of time and effort into it since August, so Thanksgiving is always a good time. So, but yeah. It's been good talk here at Michigan Sports Talk here, MI Sports Talk. Don't forget to follow us on online. Comment on us. We're here every week. Any final thoughts, Sam? Any thoughts before we go?
No, just looking forward to again the last few weeks here, and hopefully Michigan doesn't stub their toe against Indiana, so we get a good good feeling going into that game against the Buckeyes. And you never know.
Yeah, thank you. We'll go to Ford Field on Friday, and then Big House on Saturday.
Yeah, it's always a good weekend.
Yeah,
a lot of games. A lot of gets down to it, and then the week after that, you got all the championships. So these next few weeks,
championship Saturday. Right?
Exciting time to be a college football fan. So.
Oh yeah, no doubt about it. That's something that hopefully we'll see it all play out. We can prognosticate all you want, but it'll all play itself out here in the next three weeks. I think in the BCS decision, and
it'll sort itself out.
Narrow down the NFL playoffs; those will be coming up, and talk a little bit about next weekend, probably the Maui and the college basketball tournament.
Yeah,
those kind of things come out. Maui tournament. It's always a fun. I think Michigan State's going out to Maui.
Are they?
I think they're playing. Yeah, Kansas and Michigan State are both going out to Maui. So, but all right, buddy.
All right, Pat.
Good talk tonight again. Some good stuff, and it was a celebratory for us Michigan fans. Obviously,
that's been a good week.
Spartans fan. They did say that it's basketball season. So
it's basketball season. Yeah.
All right, buddy.
All right, Pat.
We'll talk to you.
All right, man.
Michigan Sports.
We'll see you, bud.